So, since you have sent me your tasks, let's see what you have done and how have you performed, okay? And here is, task one, task two. Okay, so here, this is the task one, okay? The topic is coffee and tea habits in Australia, okay? The below bar chart compares. I think you have copied this word. You should have said the given bar chart, right? Let's see. No, it's okay. It's fine. Uh, the below bar chart compares coffee and tea buying and drinking habits of residents in 5 Australian cities of previous 4 weeks. Overall, going to a cafe for coffee and tea was the most popular activity in most cities, while buying fresh coffee was the least common. Melbourne and Hobart residents showed the strongest coffee culture, whereas Brisbane and Adelaide had higher rates of instant coffee consumption. Oh, you have done a very good job, my dear. You have done it well. Looking at cafe visits first, nearly two-thirds of people in Melbourne, 64%, and Harvard, 63% went to a cafe for coffee and tea. Okay, now let me correct you. As you can see here, you have, place, punctuation, commas, and then 64%, right? And how about 63%? If you have said it this way, that two-thirds of people in Melbourne and Hobart, around 64 and 63% respectively, went to a cafe for coffee and tea. So then it would have been much better, right? It would have been, very appealing. But it's also very, it's very good. You have written a good job. You have done a good job, right? In a good way. So these commas should be removed. Okay. This was slightly lower in Sydney at 61% and dropped to exactly 50% in Adelaide. Very good. Brisbane was the only city where cafe visits were not the highest figure, were not, uh, you know, what do you mean when you said Brisbane was the only city where cafe visits were not the highest figure? You could have said that Brisbane was the only city where cafe visits were the least, right? At 55%. Then it would have been better, right? So instead of using the word highest, you should have said, visits were the lowest, right? At 55%. So this would have been better, right? Is it clear, Atika?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you said buying instant coffee was more common than buying fresh coffee in all 5 cities. Very good. Instant coffee acquisition ranged off is not relevant. Okay, remove it. Coffee acquisition range 45% in Sydney to 54% in both Brisbane and Hobart. Very good. In contrast, fresh coffee buying was low with figures between 34% in Brisbane and Adelaide and 44% in Sydney. Okay. Hmm. In the middle was Melbourne, which is 42%. You don't need to discuss this one, right? So remove it. Then in this series, Australian went to buy instant coffee, then fresh coffee. No, this conclusion is not okay. And the reason is that the structure of the sentence is not good. But overall, you have done a good job, and I will say that you have written almost 203 words, right? Uh, you should have written at least 150 or maximum 160 or 70. You should not exceed that limit, okay?
Okay,
The,
sir.
keep this thing in mind. The little you write, it is very, it will be much better for you because, then there will be little mistakes, right? If you write more, so if your writing is not good, so you might be making more mistakes. So just try to, touch or, pass the minimum mark, that is 150 words. Don't write much, okay?
Okay, sir.
Even if I remove this, you can say conclusion, still your essay is around 181 words. What's the most? You don't need to write, the concluding paragraph here. Whatever you have written until this point, it is okay, right? I've removed the concluding paragraph. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So now let's move to our next lecture, and that is lecture 4, right? Okay, so yesterday we have started with, discussing the task 2 of writing, and today we'll continue with the same, discussion. In today's lecture, you will learn about the introduction of body and conclusion, right? You will learn how to write a body paragraph. You will learn how to write an introduction. You will learn how to use complex sentences. You will learn how to construct an argument. And along with that, you will also learn how to give reasons and examples in your writing task too. You will also learn how to create cohesion and coherence, right, in your essay. And in the end, you will also learn how to write a very good conclusion. So this is the overall agenda of today's class. Now let's move first to the paragraph structure. And this is very important to know what a paragraph is before we switch to the essay structure. Although we have discussed, generally the structure of the essay yesterday, but, before discussing that structure in detail, first we should know how should we write a paragraph, right? Or what should be the structure of a paragraph. So there are a few elements which are very important while considering the structure of paragraph. The first thing is that each of the paragraph should have their own central idea, one central idea, which means that each and every paragraph should have one idea, one central idea, one topic, one theme that it should revolve around or it should talk about, right? The main idea is the topic sentence, a general statement, right? So when you talk about the central idea, so that is actually the main idea. You also call it the main idea. And this is what you call a topic sentence, right? Talking about the structure of a paragraph, so you should have a topic sentence, and that topic sentence should contain the central idea of the paragraph, like what the paragraph is about, right? So it will be discussing what the paragraph is about. Then you should develop the main idea with three supporting sentences, right? Uh, when you write your topic sentence. So after the topic sentence, you should further elaborate your topic sentence with more, with around three sentences, which are actually explanation and which should be in support of, what you have discussed in the topic sentence. And lastly, you should give reasons, examples, effects, or details about the topic sentence if you have, according to the relevancy, according to the, the demand of the essay or whatever, right? So generally, you will look at the context and whatever is demanded. If you, let's say, if an example is needed, so you should write an example. If reason is needed, you should write a logical reason, an explanation. If some effects are needed, you should write the effects. If further detail is required, so you should write the details, right? Now, here we have a sample paragraph. Could you please read this one, the first sentence?
Generally speaking, it is many years later that people appreciate their education.
Mhm. Now, this is what you call the topic sentence. Generally speaking, it is many years later that people appreciate their education. So it is about the appreciation of people, of education, of their education. Now that is the topic sentence. Then, if you can see here, we have, for example, that is the detail, right? The example. People who can read might have found it boring to learn this skill when they were children, right? Yes, of course, this is the reality. When we were children, and when our parents would push us to go to schools, we would cry sometimes, or we would get sad that we would think of it as a burden, right? In our own language, we would say that's a musibat de, right? School charge or kade de. Who
Yes,
created this school, right? Who are the actually the inventor of this idea of school and education and stuff like that, right? We would cry and we would be upset every morning when our parents would tell us to go to school and it's time to go to school, right? But now when we see the fruit, for example, I am teaching and I'm earning through the education, right? Or you as a student, you are able to read, right? When I ask you to read, you are able to read. So this is a skill that you have learned, and this is what you call appreciation. Then you start appreciating, okay, though all those years of struggle and burden and whatever you call it, right? It was not worthless. Today I am somebody, I am something because of all the hard work that I did in the past, right? Now, so this is the example. Further, it is supported. Also, we cannot be sure of the future benefits of studying certain subjects. This is the supporting sentence, right? When you are learning something, you don't know what the future, will give you in life, right? What is gonna come ahead in life. But in my case, here the writer is telling, the candidate is giving further elaboration that in my case, I regretted not having studied some natural sciences in high school after I realized that I would have to study statistics, right, and mathematics at university. So now the writer has, or the candidate has added further details that people appreciate their education when they are later in life. At the time when they are getting education, they do not appreciate it, right? And then he gave the example that children, they don't want to learn. They consider it something boring, but later on we realize that what we have done and what could have been done better. For example, if you ask me, sir, do you regret anything? So I would probably say that yes, I would want to go back in my life and study a subject or two related to computer science or technology, information technology, because in the current era, in the current time, although having a language skill is okay, it's fine, but you should also have these technological skills. You should be able to operate them. If you can't do it, it means that you may be lagging behind others who could use or possibly operate these technological tools. So this is why I as a teacher or as an individual, I think that I would have done better if I studied a subject or two in computer science or artificial intelligence or softwaring or something like that related to IT, information technology. So if you look at the very paragraph, so the paragraph is very well structured. It has got a topic sentence which is carrying the main idea. Then in the support, there is an example related to children, and then a further example, a case from the life of the person has been taken and has been discussed, right? So this is how a paragraph should be. Asya, since you have joined later, let me, revise it. We were talking about the paragraph structure, that a paragraph should contain, a central idea, and that idea should be represented through a topic sentence, right? And that sentence should be something general. Then, in the later, sentences of the same paragraph, you should be actually explaining, elaborating, discussing the topic sentence, whatever is the demand of the essay. So you should consider the context and then start explaining it in terms of, giving reasons or giving examples or discussing the effects or discussing further details. So this is what we have discussed. I hope it's clear. Shall we move forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, as we have seen in the previous paragraph, if you want to write a very good paragraph, so you should have a topic sentence in the paragraph. You should have a supporting sentence. Then you have supporting sentence number two. Then you can have supporting sentence number three, and then a concluding sentence. But this concluding sentence is optional. It's not necessary, right? But if you can add one, it will, not only increase the wording, but also will give you, a little bit of edge, right? So, Asya, could you please read this, topic sentence from the sample paragraph?
Generally speaking, it is many years later that people appreciate their education.
Right. So, this is the same statement we have discussed in the previous paragraph. Now this topic, this, sentence is actually representing the idea that what the paragraph should be about, right? So it is about the people's appreciation of their education, right? And then if you can see here, from this point to this point, this is one sentence, this is the second sentence, and this is the third sentence. So these three sentences are further elaborating this main idea of the paragraph. Could you please read it further?
For example, people who
Mm.
can read might have found it boring to learn this skill when they were children.
Yes.
Also, we cannot
Yes,
be
now
sure of the.
just give me a second. Now,
Okay.
they say people later on in their lives, people appreciate their education, right? Now, the example is that people, when they were learning the reading skill, right? Uh, they found it very boring, right? They found it very boring, as I've already mentioned in the previous slide. When we were kids and when we were learning A for apple, B for ball, etc., etc., so we were finding it very boring, right? You would think that who the hell made, all this stuff? Why are we going even to the schools? And what is the necessity of all this education and stuff? But now we're appreciating, right? So this is a very good example related to the topic sentence, and it is actually supporting it. Okay, read further also. Mhm.
Also, we cannot be sure of the future benefits of studying certain subjects. In my
Mhm.
case, I regretted not having studied some natural sciences in high school after I realized that I would have to study statistics and mathematics at university.
Yes. Now he's further elaborating that, uh, sometimes we find things boring, but later on we realize that we could have studied, and we could have done better, right? And, we don't know the benefit of something when we are, actually learning, right? Later on, we realize that how much, the skill that we have learned, is appropriate and how much it works, right? So same is the case with the example and elaboration of this candidate who said that I regretted not having studied some natural sciences. And I have already mentioned in the previous slide when I was discussing that I myself regret not having studied IT, information technology, or computer science. And you might also have your own opinions. Excuse me. If I ask you, what do you regret when you think of the past and you think that you could have studied this subject or this subject? Is there any such subject which you think that you should have studied and you
Yes,
haven't
sir.
studied? Okay, tell me
Yes.
what is the subject?
Yes. Sir, now I regret that now I regret that now I like the wish I could studied engineering type things, AI related things because the scopes are very high now in nowadays or
Mhm.
maybe in the future maybe a lot. I think there is no more scope of the
Or
subject
field.
which I'm studying now.
All right. You see, so when you move ahead, then you realize, okay, I could have studied that and I could have done better. Same is the case with me. Atika, is there any subject that you think you could have studied and it would have been more relevant in the current scenario and the current job market? Ji Atika.
Statistics and mathematics.
Oh, statistics and mathematics. Yes, they have, they are very much relevant, specifically in today's world of, since, the world is getting uh, you can say it is more focused on economy, right? Everyone is talking about money, everyone is talking about, addition and subtraction and multiplication, right? So yes, that's also something I also regret, because, back then when I did my master's, I was thinking that I should go to the United States, right? On Fulbright. And when you are applying for a Fulbright, so you should have to take GRE, and one of the elements in GRE is mathematics. And since my mathematics is really poor, what happens is that I couldn't sit for even the exam. And that's what is stopping me. Rather, my language skills are good. I believe that I can do well in the language part, in the verbal part. But when it comes to, mathematical reasonings, then, I come at the bottom. I will top it from the bottom, in simple
So
words.
same to you. I'm also very weak in mathematics.
It's not related, you can't say that you are weak. If you practice, you can improve. But the thing is, mathematics was a very boring subject for me. I couldn't even study. And I thought that it is really boring and I couldn't concentrate. So that's why I didn't study it and I didn't learn it.
So, but
Secondly,
once you practice mathematics and and you know the solution, you will enjoy it. That now you are able to solve every problem.
yeah, exactly. Because it feels like fun, right? It's
Yeah.
more like a game when you are solving all the puzzles, puzzle after puzzle, right? There is, let's say, a formula, and then you take that formula and apply it on certain digits, and then you solve it. You solve the problem, and then you move to the next step, and then solve that step, and then to the next. So it's like a game, right? It feels like a game, and yes, people do enjoy it. But for me, it was not. A good subject back then. Now I regret that I should have studied it. Anyways, so coming back to our own discussion, a paragraph should have a topic sentence, then two or three, you can say supporting sentences. And in that support, you can use examples, you can talk about details, you can talk about explanation, you can talk about, effects of something. And if you add a concluding sentence, it would have been better. All right, could you please read this concluding sentence?
Therefore, it is often only later in life that the importance of a good education is realized.
Yes, it's the same statement as we have mentioned here, but in other words, right? So conclusion and topic sentence, they are almost alike. So if you don't, add a concluding sentence, your paragraph will still make a good sense. Is it clear? Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear.
Okay. Now, here is the fun part. When you talk about the paragraph structure, so think of a paragraph as a hamburger. And I know that ladies nowadays, they love eating hamburgers, right?
Yes,
Don't
sir.
you?
So I
So,
like pizza.
okay, you like pizza. So, okay, but the example over here is that of a hamburger. Now, the topic sentence is this part. The concluding sentence is this part. In the middle, you have all the support, all the minis and stuff like that, right? So whatever is there should be sandwiched between the topic sentence and the concluding sentence. Is it clear? So you can have the chicken, you can have the salad, you can have mayonnaise, you can have spices, you can have whatever you like, right? So it should be in the middle. Is it clear?
So if the mayonnaise and salad and chicken,
Mm-hmm. You said what? Say it again.
Sir, if mayonnaise, salad, and
Mm.
chicken, all the supporting things in hamburger is not tasty, then what will happen in taste?
Okay, if you are asking if they are not there, right? So what will happen? Nothing happens, as I have already mentioned.
If ingredients are arranged irregular,
Okay, if they are irregular, then definitely when you are not adding them the way they should be added, right? And you are not cooking the things the way the things should be cooked, so definitely the outcome will not be a good one, right? Same is the case here. When you talk about a topic sentence, so all the supporting details should be relevant. If they are irrelevant, then definitely uh, you are very much right. Uh, Nothing will happen. Instead, you will score low. So you have to be careful. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we have a practice activity here uh, for the paragraph structure. Now, here is a writing task two. We have these four slots and we have these four sentences. First, look at the question, and then we will move to the activity. You have 1 minute to read the whole thing. Okay, now tell me, out of these four sentences of the same paragraph, one paragraph, which of these sentences should go first into the first lot? G. Asya, could you please tell me which of these four sentences should go to the first lot? The sentence which contains the topic sentence. Tika, you can
Is it
also
the
answer.
second,
G. Yes, you can answer. G.
the second one during peak travel time?
Uh, During peak travel times or rush hours, the roads are very busy. Okay. G. Asya, do you agree with Atika? Asya, do you agree with her?
So is it the fourth one?
Sir, let me think.
G. You don't have much time. Just
Sorry, I don't know. It is really reliable, fast, and comfortable, but not always as convenient as traveling by private cars.
no.
I
Atika,
know,
you
I
are
know. This is wrong.
Atika, you are right. It's the fourth one, right? If you see, you cannot start with during peak travel
Yes,
times. There are often traffic jams, and it can take 30 minutes to travel 5 or 6 kilometers by car, right? So this is, the topic sentence. Okay, tell me which sentence will go next?
During peak travel times or rush hours, the roads are very busy.
Okay. Now, Asia, tell me, Atika was right or wrong? I'm just playing with your minds now.
I think, sir, the one which I said now, I think this should be the topic sentence. During peak travel
Exactly,
times or rush,
exactly,
the roads are
exactly,
very busy.
exactly. You are right. You are right. And Atika, you were right when you said it, for the first time when you said that the second one. So the second one should be, the first sentence because the whole paragraph is talking about, the travel time, right? It talks about the busyness of the roads, right? So sentence number second should be the topic sentence, and then the fourth one should come to the second slot. Is it clear?
Sir, which
Right?
one?
The fourth one. There
Yes,
are
sir. Second, yes, sir.
this should come to the second slot. Okay. Out
And
of
the
first.
first one is coming the third, and the third one is coming the last.
Exactly, right? So now if we read it, so we will read it like this. During peak trail times or rush hours, the roads are very busy, right? There are often traffic jams, right? It is following now. And the roads are busy, so there are often traffic jams, and it can take 30 minutes to travel 5 or 6 kilometers by car, right? So now since we have talked about car, the next sentence says that, however, travel by public transport such as train, bus, or ferry is much better, right? So this will come to the third slot. And the last one, it is reliable, fast, and comfortable, but not always as convenient as traveling by private car. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how, you should actually, uh, what you say, structure your paragraph. Now let's move to the next slide.
So now the things of arrangement come in this category. The
Exactly.
example I gave about the burger.
Yes. Okay. Let's move it, discuss further. We have the introduction. Now, how do you write the introduction of an essay? So a good introduction should summarize the essay topic in your own words. What should you do? You are given a topic, as you can see here, say space exploration is a luxury, right? So this is the topic. Yesterday we have had the practice of how to identify, the essay topic. Now you should take this sentence and you should summarize it in your own words, right? You should not copy paste. If you copy paste it, yesterday I've mentioned as well, if you copy paste the wording, it means that you are telling the examiner that your lexical range is limited. And by saying this, what it means is that you will score less, right? So you need to be very careful when you read the topic sentence of the essay. Take the sentence and rephrase it in your own words, right? Then state your position or perspective on the topic. Once you are done with it, then come to the task, right? What the task talks about. So, for example, the task here says, to what extent do you agree or disagree with this opinion? So then the second sentence of your introduction should be your stance, whether you agree with the topic sentence or not, right? Third, outline what the essay will discuss, right? Then you should talk about, what the topic, the whole essay will discuss. What is your stance, right? What you will be discussing further, whether you will be agreeing with it or disagreeing with it, and what way, right? So this is what you call the, you can say, the introductory part. When you are writing an introduction of an essay, right, you should have the topic sentence rephrased. You should clearly state your position about or your perspective about the topic, and you should also outline in general terms that what are you going to discuss, whether you are going to discuss the points related to your agreement or disagreement or both of them, right? Is it clear? Is it clear
Yes,
or
sir.
not?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here is an example introductory paragraph. You can see here, summarize the question using your own words. So we have taken the same example here. Space exploration is luxury that we cannot afford. Instead of spending billions of dollars on space programs, governments should use this money to fight global problems such as poverty, disease, and climate change. Now, this is the topic. Now, could you please, Asia, read the topic sentence here?
Since the middle of the last century, governments have been investing large sums of money in space exploration programs.
Now, see, you can see it here, right? The same statement has been talked about, but rephrased in the, in different words, you can say, words of the candidate, right? Governments have been investing, right? Investing now large sums of money, spending billions of dollars in space exploration programs, right? So this is how you do it. Now, could you please read the next one? Opposite statement. Could you please this one?
Many people are in favor of these programs because they see space exploration as exciting and full of potential.
Right,
However, it is
right,
now
right,
becoming
right. You see, here is an opinion which talks about how other people looks at, this program, right? Or the statement. So many people are in favor, right? Why? Because they consider it exciting and full of potential. Okay, read further.
also. However, it is now becoming clear that space exploration programs are a waste of money.
So you can see it clearly that the writer is telling his stance. He's saying that it's a waste of money. He considers it what? He considers it a waste of
Money.
money. Okay, now read this one. The money invested.
The money invested in space programs would be better spent on urgent programs at home, such as poverty, disease, and the environment.
You see? So it means that the writer wants to discuss, investment on these things, right? And the advantages of investing on these things, such as, resolving the problems of homes, of poverty, disease, and environment. So, this is giving us a very clear idea that what is the stance of the writer and what he or she is going to discuss in the coming paragraphs. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
It very clearly shows, whenever, and this is what you call the art of arguments or the art of discussion as well. When you are, talking about something, so you should look at both sides of the coin, right? And this is what the writer has done. He has actually looked at, what other people would think, but then stated his own perspective at what I think, right? And then he also clearly outlined it, what is he gonna discuss. What is he gonna think? What is he gonna talk about? Right? What are the problems that he is gonna discuss? And there is very clearly outlined here. Now, you should also understand the do's and don'ts for introduction. What you should do in your introductory paragraph and what you shouldn't do in the introductory paragraph. So the first thing, as I've already mentioned, do not copy the question word for word. If you do it, what will happen? Tell me. What will happen if you copy the question?
Then the writer will assume that we don't have enough vocabulary or the capability of
Paraphrasing.
extending the topic.
Yes, the examiner will think the same. Yes, that you don't have enough lexical range, and you cannot expand the topic. Very good. Then, second thing is do write one or two general statements introducing the topic. As you can see here, a general statement has been, said. since the middle of the last century. It is, out of your own experience. And remember, as I've already told you, nobody is going to see whether you are telling lies or not, whether you are telling truth or not. The only thing that they are going to look for is what? They're going to see whether you are able to write or not. For example, if the writer has said since the middle or since the middle of or since the last 5 centuries, since the last 5 centuries, nobody is gonna care whether the last 5 centuries is the most relevant thing or not. But since you said it, it means that you have the lexical resource and you can talk in English. Is it clear?
Sir, it's mean that examiner will not look at what is fact or not, but he will check our writing skills.
Yes, exactly. This is what I am saying. When facts are required, then you can talk about facts. But if facts are not required, it's not an exam of your memory. It's not an exam of your research, right? You're not researching here. You are just showcasing your language skills. And this is why I'm saying it again. The only thing that you should do is write something relevant. That's it. You don't care whether you are talking out of facts or you are talking out of your stomach. As long as they are, whatever you are writing is relevant to the topic mentioned in the question, you are okay. But if you are, let's say the question is about cars and you are talking about animals, then of course it's not relevant. And, the examiner will assume that you didn't read the question at all. Are you getting my point? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
But if let's say, if we take the example, if the question is about cars and you take only one specific type of car, let's say BMW, you start talking about BMW. So BMW is a car and you can talk about it, right? Because it is relevant. Clear?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Then the second thing is, okay, we have talked about, right, one or two general statements introducing the topic. Also, do include a thesis statement which shows your opinion, as we can see here, that the writer says that, it is now clear that it is becoming a waste of money. So there is the clear opinion. He is voicing, or she is voicing what she thinks, right? And this will also give the direction to your essay, because when you take a stance, so then you will start supporting it. You'll start supporting it with further evidence, with examples, with details, right? And the body paragraphs. Is it clear? If there is any question, you can ask.
Not clear.
Okay. Now, again, we have a practice activity. Let's see, what do we have here? So here we have the question. You can read the question and then I will show you what you should do. You have 1 minute to do it, okay? Read the question and the task. Okay, now look here. We have 5 sentences and we have 5 slots. The first sentence is demanded that we should write a general statement about my city, right? So according to this, which out of these 5 should go here? General statement about my city. Let's say you are living in Australia, right? Brisbane.
Sir, Brisbane is a large city with super spread out widely from the center.
Excellent, yes. This one will go here. Very good. Now, general statement about commuters. Do you know what is commuter?
Sir, people who come from different places to the city,
Yeah, travelers, you can say, the ones who
travelers.
travel. Yeah, the one who travel. Even you are a commuter when you move from your home to the mall, let's say, or to bazaar or whatever you call it, right? Or to your own workplace. Okay. General statement about the commuters. Atika, you should tell me which of them is a general statement about the commuter. Gee, Atika, could you please tell me out of one, two, three, and four, which of them should go to the second slot? Okay, yes, yeah, you should tell me.
A lot of workers and students have to travel to work and schools in the center of the city, and they rely on the city's transportation system for this.
Yes. Atika, what do you think? Is she right? She said the fifth one should go to the second slot.
Sergi, I don't understand it.
Okay, let me tell you. These statements, as we have already mentioned, they are about the structure of the introductory paragraph, right? We have mentioned that we should start our introductory paragraph with a general statement, right? A statement or two, right? So one of the statement was about the city, general statement about the city, and that is this city, right? Then it was general statement about commuters. Commuters mean travelers, the ones who travel in the city. So this sentence is about the travelers, right? And this should go to the second slot. Now, the third statement is required here, which says the general statement about the drawbacks of the transport system. Now you already know the drawbacks, the disadvantages, right? So read one, two, and three, and tell me which of these three statements talks about the drawback of a transport system. Okay?
Sergi, however, the transport system does not always meet the need of commuters.
Very good, excellent. Yes, the the transport system doesn't meet the need of commuters, right? Now, since you have talked about the drawback, now tell me which of these two statements is discussing, they are discussing the example of the transport system drawbacks. Atika, you should answer me.
Buses and trains stop early on weekend and
Roads are very busy. Yes. This one is actually talking about the example. And Asya, I believe you will be answering that this is the thesis statement giving a preview of the essay, right? Could you please read it
Yeah.
aloud?
This essay discusses whether or not the transportation system satisfies the lifestyles and schedules of city commuters.
Very good. So you see, it's a very good and solid introductory paragraph. We have talked about the overall topic. We have introduced the topic. We have talked about, the commuters as well as the city, as well as the drawback of the transportation system. And along with that, we have stated our thesis statement that what we think, what this essay will talk about. So this essay will talk about whether or not the transportation system satisfies the lifestyle and schedules of the city commuters or not, right? So this is how you write an introductory paragraph. I hope it's clear. Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, another important thing is it's writing
Yes, sir.
is fine. Writing is fine. You can write, but writing accurately and grammatically correct structures is very difficult. And that is something you people are really worried about. So you should be worried about in simple words. Uh, so let's see what do we have here in this slide. It talks about the complex sentences. I believe that both of you are able to write simple sentences. For example, I go to the market. She gave me a pen. I bought let's say a gift for myself, and this and that. You can talk about things in simple sentences. But when it comes to compound sentences and complex sentences and compound complex sentences, then things become difficult, but ultimately you have no choice. But you have to use, these complex structures in your essay. If you don't do it, again, you are telling the examiner that, my grammatical range is limited and I can only speak, simple structures, not complex structures and not compound structures, right? So to tell the examiner that you know the complexity of language, that you know how to write a compound sentence, you know how to write a complex sentence, you know how to write a compound complex sentence, and so on, it will be much better and it will increase your chances to score higher, right? Okay, you can see here, you can use simple sentence, which contains one main or independent clause. I believe both of you know what a clause is, right? Do you know it? What is a clause?
Clause need verb and subject both.
Yes. A clause means having an independent, subject and verb, and it should be meaningful. When you
So,
talk about, yes,
your
would you?
complete idea.
Yes, having a complete idea. An independent clause means a clause which contains a subject and a verb, plus it also gives, complete information. It is not dependent on anything else, right? It doesn't require to have a separate clause to complete its meaning, right? So this is what you call an independent clause. Now look at this one. The baby cried. It is an independent clause. Why? Because this is a complete sentence. It does not require anything before itself or after itself, right? So this is what you
Yes.
call a simple structure, an independent clause. Now, what is a complex sentence or a complex structure? Could you please read it aloud?
Complex sentence contains one main and independent clause plus one subordinate and dependent clause.
Yes. So in complex sentence, you have two clauses, combination of two clauses, but one of the clause should be independent and the other should be dependent.
Dependent.
Now, I hope you know what's the difference between dependent and independent.
Yes,
Do you?
sir.
What is the difference?
So independent clause is that type of clause which is complete without which is complete by its own. It doesn't meet any other clause for its completion of sentence. While dependent clause always depend on another clause or another sentence to complete its meaning.
Yes, excellent.
Yes,
So as you can see here, we have the example, although I was tired, the sentence is talking about me. Although I am tired, right? Although I was tired. So when you put a full stop here, although we have a subject and a verb here, but the sentence is not complete. Why? Because its meaning is not complete. If I translate the same sentence into Urdu, so it means agarche मैं थका हुआ था, right?
sir.
अगरचे मैं थक चुका था. Both of them, this way you can translate it.
Sir,
So सवाल
if
आता
we
है. Mhm.
okay, so if
Yes,
we remove although, then I was tired is complete. But
yes,
here although is present, that's why the sentence sounds incomplete.
exactly. This is what I wanted to talk about, right? So because of, the the word although, the sentence has become a dependent clause, right?
Dependent clause.
Although I was tired, I still took a class, right? I still delivered a lecture. So I delivered a lecture, it is a complete sentence. But when I say, although I was tired, so although I was tired, it is a dependent clause, which is dependent on the meaning of the next clause, which is related to it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Atika, could you please read these two sentences, simple sentences? Denmark.
Denmark is a
Mhm.
Denmark is a Scandinavian country. The
Yes.
people there generate electricity with large wind turbines.
Okay, wind turbines. Okay.
Wind.
Now, if I want to make this, these two sentences into one, what should I do? There are two ways to do it. Atika, again, could you please read this one?
Denmark is a Scandinavian country where people generate electricity with large wind
Wind.
turbines.
Yes. Now, you
Denmark
see
is,
these two sentences, separate sentences, they are converted into one sentence. Is it clear?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Asia, could you please read the second one?
Hmm. Denmark is a Scandinavian country which that generates electricity with large wind turbines.
You see, both the ways it is correct, right? Denmark is a Scandinavian country where people, you can see the word the has been removed, right? Where people
Yes.
generate electricity, there is also removed, right? Because where also means there, right? With large wind turbines. That's one way. Denmark is a Scandinavian country which or that generates electricity with large wind turbines. You even remove the word people, right? Because, of course, it is a passive sentence, right? Denmark generates electricity, so it means that people are doing it, but you remove the word people. So both way it is what? It is correct. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Through these structures, you actually tell the examiner that your grammatical range is high. You have a lot of words, you have a lot of ways to say the same, to say the same statement. And this is what is going to give you an edge. And when the examiner will mark your essay, so you will score higher, right? Now, again, another important thing is when you are writing in complex sentences, what should you do? You should look at the linking words or phrases. These words or phrases help you to link where, your ideas. As you can see here, the word where, the word which, or the word date, they actually help us link these two sentences into one, right? So these are what
Yes,
you
sir.
call linking words. Now, they also show relationships between ideas. So we have separate words for comparison and contrast. If you remember, I've already shared a list with you. That's a different one, but here again, we are going to discuss a few, right? So for comparison and contrast, you have separate, words. For cause and effect, you have different words. For additional information, you have, other words. And for showing the opposition, you have other words. Let's read these handouts and see what do we have here, right? About the linking words. Do you see here? We have a relationship, comparison and contrast. For example, A is larger than B. So what is the word for comparison?
Then,
Then, very good. Then A is more expensive than B, right? You can talk about different items. C is the largest or most expensive. So largest, EST, or most expensive, right? Similarly, you can also show it by C is significantly larger than B. Again, B. C is expensive, where is, you are again showing a comparison, whereas A is cheap, right? So, these are what you call words or linking words for comparison and contrast. Here are a few examples. Could you please read this sentence? This one. Yes, please read this one.
Fossil
Mhm.
fuels create carbon dioxide, whereas hydrogen com-
Combustion.
combustion produce only water.
Yes. Fossil fuels create carbon monoxide, whereas means it's showing the contrast. Unlike, right? Unlike fossil fuels, hydrogen combustion produces only water. Okay, Asia, could you please read this one?
Bicycles are significantly cheaper to run than cars.
Yes. So bicycles and cars, they are compared and, significantly cheaper. So, this is being talked about. Now,
Sir,
here.
I have a question. For example, if a essay is come on climate change,
Mm-hmm,
and then we have to discuss about gases,
mm-hmm.
then can we use the short form of gases here, the carbon monoxide? Can we use only CO instead of carbon monoxide?
Yes, you can use both of them
Okay, sir.
as long as you are correct, right? There is the scientific term. For example, you want to talk about salt, right? So in one place you call it, let's say you are talking scientifically, you call it salt. In other place you call it sodium chloride. And third place you call it NaCl.
Yes, sir.
All the three terms, they are correct. And by doing so, you are actually telling the examiner that your grammatical, your lexical range is high,
Okay, sir.
right? You should do it. And I tell you, I encourage you to appreciate, to do it in your essay. And I appreciate it, right? Your examiner will appreciate it and you will score higher by doing this, by doing so. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then we have a list for the cause and effect, right? Because of, or since, or as a result, or caused, or leads, or results in, right? All these words, they are related to cause and effect. Similarly, additional information such as and, also, but also, not only, right? As well as in addition to, in addition. I've already, shared that the list of words with you, so you can take, those words from there as well. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's have a simple defining relative clause. This is another handout related to your grammar section. Now, sometimes you need to, add a relative clause, right? So a relative clause is something which you call, define it in terms of a noun or to make clear which person, thing, or place we are talking about. For example, Asia, comma, who is my student, comma. Now, when I said who is my student, so this is what you call a relative clause, right? Are you getting it? Asia,
Yes, sir.
comma, who is my student, comma, is present in the class today, right? So if
Yes,
I remove the relative clause, who is my student, my sentence will still be a complete one. Are you getting it? Asia is present in today, in the class today. It's a complete sentence. But I am further elaborating which one Asia I am talking about, right? Similarly, if I say Atika, comma, uh, let's say whose father was ill, right? Comma, uh, let's say is very genius. Atika, comma, whose father was ill, comma, is very genius. So I could have said Atika is genius. Yeah, Atika is very genius. But I have added a relative clause which actually defines which Atika I am talking about, which Asia I am talking about, which person I am talking about. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Further, for example, you want to talk about me. You tell someone that I'm taking class with Dr. Enam, right? So the person is which Dr. Enam? So to clarify this, Dr. Enam, comma, who is my IELTS teacher, comma, is a very good teacher, let's say, is a very nice man, let's say, if I am, right?
بس
لسان بخبل
بقوله
صفته كنوتات سخنة كوي, right?
Sir, can Dr. Inam, who is a lecturer in Bajaha University,
Uh-huh.
is my teacher.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Now, this is what you call a relative clause. I hope you have learned it. Right? Okay, so we have a list of pronouns here which are used for relative clause. So for when you talk about a person, you can use who, date, and whose, right? If you talk about a thing, so you say which, date, or whose, again whose, right? If you talk about a place or location, you say where or in which. For example, the country where I lived has many lakes, right? Or the country in which I lived has many lakes. Is it clear? Now, here is the fun part. We have these two sentences. Some governments are developing their country's manufacturing industries. Full stop. They may have problems with air quality in future. Full stop. These are two sentences. Now, the task is that you should change it into one sentence. Link these two sentences. Asya, it's your turn. How will you do it?
Some governments are developing their country manufacturing industries. Uh, uh, However, they may have problems with air quality in the future.
Very good. Excellent. Yes, that's the right way to do it. Okay. Atika, tell me about this one. People are helping to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Full stop. They have reduced their electricity used. Full stop.
People are helping to reduce greenhouse gas emission, whereas they have reduced their electricity use.
Whereas it shows contrast. Here we are talking about the same idea. So you can say people are helping to reduce green gas emissions. This statement is the result, okay? This statement is the result of the first statement. So what linking word or words will you use to show the result? Go back to that list that I have shared with you and you will find it. But let me tell you, you can use the words such as people are helping to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, thus they have reduced their electricity use. Is it clear?
Sir, can we add the word and?
No, you can't.
Okay.
Because these two statements, they are not equal in terms of idea, right? This one is a statement, the first one, and the second one is a result, right?
Okay, sir.
So for the result, you have to choose the correct word, correct linking word, I should say. So you can use the word thus. You can also say people are helping to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. As a result, they have reduced their electricity use. Or so they have reduced their electricity use. Or thus they have reduced their electricity use. All three words can be used here.
Yes,
Is
sir,
it
sir,
clear?
as a result, I think, sir, as a result, it sounds more good.
Yes, both of them, all the three options, they are good. They are fine.
Sir, I think in this type of test them usually like complex vocabulary words.
Yes.
That's why I mentioned this.
It's okay. It's okay. But all of them, they are correct. Okay. So I'll share the rest of, the activity with you and you can do it at your home, right? And you can also read it after the class. I will share it. So have you learned what complex sentence is and how should we use it? And, what will be the benefit if we use it in our writing task too? Have you learned it? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I have another, practice for the same, complex sentences that I will share after the class with you. It's a worksheet for you, so I will share it after the class, okay? Now, uh, do you want me to continue or shall we discuss, constructing argument and, the rest of the few topics tomorrow? What do you think?
Sir, tomorrow.
Okay, fine. It's fine.
Okay,
because it's a lot of information. You've gained a lot of information, and accommodating everything is not easy in one lecture.
Yes, yes.
So if there,
Already our house is full of guests, that's why.
it's fine. I understand. I totally understand. And anyways, so that's all about it. If you have any questions until this point, you can ask.
Okay, there is sir, I already missed the classes and still I didn't watch the videos.
There is you.
Sir,
There
I
is you.
have many pending work and I have to do all these things.
Yeah, you should do it. You should do it. That is,
Yes,
up to
sir.
you. And you must. I know when you get free, inshallah, and from Monday onwards, you will be free, a little bit free, not much, but you will be able to do it, inshallah.
Okay.
Anyways, if there is any question related to today's lecture, you can ask.
No, sir, no question.
Okay. After the class, I will share a few activities with you, with the worksheets with you, and I will also assign you a test that you should take, and then share your writing with me, your essay with me, and I will evaluate it. Okay.
Sir, when I get free, I will do all my tests and I will share my results with you. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
Okay, sir.
That's not a problem. No,
Okay,
nothing.
sir. Allah Hafiz.
All right. Allah Hafiz. Have a good day. Allah Hafiz.